Man, dreams really do come true. Thanks to the team at Fireshine Games and Beluga being the publishers and developers respectively, I was given the opportunity to play the demo version for my most anticipated game of 2026, Duskfade. Now that's a big claim, I know, but there's a reason for it. This game takes clear inspiration from Kingdom Hearts, Jak and Daxter, and Ratchet & Clank, just to name a few. Essentially, some of the best titles from the golden era of 3D action platformers. Those games made my childhood. So when I first saw Duskfade with its incredible visuals and an obvious callback to the past with modern conveniences, it was a game I quickly became obsessed with. I'm super appreciative to all involved who allowed me to play this demo early, but you're probably wondering how this demo is and how Duskfade actually plays. So let's get into it. Do be aware, there will be some spoilers ahead for this version of the demo, and also please be aware that this footage is captured in an early build which is subject to change from the final product. Duskfade tells a deep emotional story about a character known as Zirian. He sets out to save his sister from a clock tower that has plunged the world into darkness. It's said to be a powerful coming-of-age journey filled with heart, loss, and the courage to face the unknown. To help you save your sister from the claws of despair and uncover the secrets of the master clockmakers, you'll utilize a weapon that is clearly taking inspiration from Kingdom Hearts Keyblade. You'll have different gadgets that contribute to both combat and traversal. You'll need to utilize your platforming prowess and, of course, your accompanying sidekick, Cuckoo. The demo starts us off with what looks to be incredibly early in the game. We see Zirian wake up, pull his clock hand sword out of the ground, and it was here that I was immediately swept away by the stunning visuals on hand. There are many settings present in just this demo, some more intricate than others for sure, but all share the common thread of being beautiful in their own ways. There are these areas where crystals creep up the sides of the walls, floating timepieces that take you to your next destination, a quaint village hiding many secrets for those eager to explore. And then we see entire levels that feed into the overall time and clock thematics with shifting dials on beat and moving gears. Every single stage here that I experienced was a visual delight. Already, I can tell this game is going to blow us away in this department. The world presented to me here is a world from the very first few seconds of stepping in, is one that I want to spend more time in. It's so interesting to look at, and you can't help but appreciate the craftsmanship and skill on display here. Now, all the visuals in the world couldn't help a bad main character. So how is Zirian? Zirian himself is already incredibly likable. He perfectly captures that young, innocent, positive charm or essence without excluding audiences for being just too immature, if that makes any sense. He's complex enough that I can easily envision him tackling more emotionally complex confrontations, but he also will remain optimistic throughout the game as to not be a complete bummer for the player to navigate. It's a hard balance to strike, and it's a balance that is achieved easily here. He's serious when the moment calls for it, but optimistic and fun all other times. This makes the impact much larger when he bunkers down and starts taking things seriously because it's such a contrast from his usual bubbly self. His character is further complemented by his companion and also the other cast of NPCs you come across. Everyone I've met so far is likable in their own way, and there were already some funny moments where I hit the pots that apparently contained someone's life savings, as well as made an anxious person even more anxious. Now, one of the best decisions the creators made here was with your companion and the choice given to the players. Instead of having a pop-up that interrupts your gameplay or halts momentum, he'll get a little speech bubble over his head. It is now up to you as the player to decide whether you want to listen to him or not. It's a matter for you, but rest assured there is no Navi situation where you're constantly interrupted with useless information. It's so appreciated here. Now obviously if you do skip what he says in these moments, it means you'll miss out on context, lore, or some background information, but it's always appreciated when the choice is given to the player. Moving into the combat, it feels fantastic here. It is quite basic in the demo, with the usual few hits taking out most enemies, but there are enemies that you'll need to keep an eye on. Some throw projectiles at you that you can hit back, some try to explode near you, and some are just massive powerhouses. After a certain point in the demo, I then unlocked a shotgun gadget, which then added a new layer of complexity to the combat, and just another option to add to that versatility. I consider this game, through its gadgets and added abilities, is really going to ramp up the combat, and you're going to be able to string together some insane combos. The combat was really satisfying, and Zirian is incredibly agile on the battlefield, and if you time a dodge perfectly, you get this slowdown which feels so badass every time you nail it. Now this is a 3D action platformer, so let's talk about the platforming. The platforming also feels really rewarding too. You get a jump, double jump, wall jump, and also a dive. Combining these things into your platforming across a variety of locations always felt great, especially when you unlock a grapple gun that now gives you even further verticality and options to reach further away locations. Engaging in this facet of the game quickly became a highlight. Zirian isn't too floaty or heavy. He has a great weight to him, the jump distance feels perfect, and there were never moments where I felt cheated because the game did something unexpected. It was all just really super tight. Now the demo ends on a boss fight that really ramped up its difficulty. It's nothing entirely unachievable, but something that certainly stood out from the rest of the demo, and it will make you sit up and concentrate. It somewhat reminded me of Kena Bridge of Spirits in the sense that you'll have the overworld areas for you to explore, and the enemies are fairly basic with those classic 1 to 3 hits to take them out, but then the boss is where you really have your skill tested. In this one, I was fighting Wrath, who would go up onto these shifting pillars after sustaining enough damage. So then I have to use what I learned previously to platform around the stage to get to him. I have to use my double jumps, I have to use my air dives, I have to use my newly acquired grappling hook to get to him before he starts draining my health. It did take me a couple tries to defeat him, but once I did learn his patterns, he was quickly disposed of and it felt so good. It was difficult enough where it was rewarding to overcome but never felt cheap. I always had the sense that any issues or errors were because of me. It was because of lack of input, a lack of skill, and this is a fantastic feeling that you want players to have. Wrath also has probably one of the coolest soundtracks for his boss fight too. Now this boss fight, as well as all the other enemies that I fought, really showcase a variety not only in enemy designs, but also their attack patterns. The game does a great job of keeping you on your toes and ensuring that there's always a variety of enemies and also enemy attacks, so all combat scenarios feel fresh and never get stale. The HUD and UI is also masterfully done too. It's minimal by design, and the information presented to you is exactly what you need, nothing more. It gives the game a very clean feel and places the emphasis on the gameplay itself without distraction. For an example, low on health, all the information is conveyed on the bottom corner here. Zirian's icon changes, his stance changes, there's audio cues, Zirian himself starts flashing red, and so too does the border around the screen. There's no popping up text or other distractions, and everything is clearly communicated through intelligent HUD designs and a fantastic overall design language. Another example are these crystals. You'll find these strewn across your levels, and they are a subtle way to communicate what path you should be taking as you progress through each area. All this speaks to a very clear priority of immersion in this beautiful world rather than information overload, which I loved. It means I was able to get so immersed in this game, no distractions and nothing taking me out. So overall, I'm walking away from this demo immensely impressed. Visually, the game looks fantastic, combat felt great, the world that you can explore rewards inquisitive minds and has areas you'll need to come back to later with more appropriate abilities. The NPCs are likable, Cuckoo isn't annoying, Zirian is a very likable main character, and the drip feed of abilities quickly complicates and expands your gameplay, which is really rewarding, and I can already tell this game is going to hurt us on a very deep and emotional level. Playing this, I'm now even more excited for the full release in 2026. To my surprise, my expectations have grown and the bar has now been pushed even higher. This really is going to be something special, and it will be a game that caters to both younger audiences, but will also have so much to do for adults with the more difficult gameplay and deeper narrative beats. I do want to thank both Weird Beluga and Fireshine Games for the opportunity to play this demo early, and also to you guys that watch and support me. Opportunities like this only come about because of the support that you guys give me, and I really cannot thank you all enough. Let me know what you thought of the gameplay, and also make sure you subscribe to my channel because I'm sure I'll be making many more videos on Duskfade in the future.